It's the Rush, Utah High School sports every day. Here we go, Larry.
I hit dingers.
Here we go, Region 1 returning tacklers this year. Number 5, Easton Hunt, 83 tackles. Imagine having to pull against Easton Hunt, blows up the block and gets the TFL for the Fighting Phoenix. We got a tie for third. Davis's leading tackler returning is Bridger Young here in the middle. You can't block him. He wallops the back for no gain. He had 89 tackles, as did Kava Fiafia, safety from Farmington. He's going to come up here and the run help and folds the back like a table. That's Kava Fiafia. Number 2, Carson Hill on the hill, 97 tackles, another safety. He had a ton of interceptions last year, and low man wins for the Warriors. Number 1, Luke Byers, 129 tackles, linebacker. He's going to Agamemnon this kid for no gain. There you go. Here we go. We're looking at Crew Cox at Ridgeline, Owen Gilson at Morgan. Week 1 at Morgan. You look at Ridgeline over the past several years. They're like Oklahoma in the late 2010s, where they had Baker, then Kyler, then Jalen. The run of quarterbacks was generational, and that's kind of what it's been for Ridgeline. They had Caden Cox for 3 years as the starter. Then they go to Nate Dolly for 4 years as the starter. Historic run last year. He throws for over 4,000 yards, over 50 touchdowns. And now they turn over the reins of that Cadillac offense to Crew Cox as a senior who's waited his turn. He looks awesome. He's tall in the pocket. 7-on-7s, he's killing it. He's got weapons back like Owen Leishman and Jet Jensen from last year. Of course, Noah Fiafia at running back. Ridgeline is going to be very, very good as always, and that offense has been special for a really long time. Morgan, on the other hand, Owen Gilson comes in as the full-time starter this year. Last year, he was the backup, came in, and all he did was win. The starter went down for a few games. Owen came in, beat Park City, beat Bountiful, beat Provo, and kept them on track to have another great season. This year, he comes in as the presumptive favorite. He's got George Thurston. Of course, they lose one of the best receivers in the state, Eli Mortensen, to Skyridge, but I think this game will be closer than it was last year. Last year, it was a 3 to 4 possession game. This year, I think it's going to be a little bit closer in Trojan territory, and I cannot wait for week 1.
Across the formation, and I just stayed with him, and then they hiked the ball, and the QB rolled out and threw it to him, but I cut it underneath and ran it 86 yards back.
Dang.
Yeah.
86 yards for a pick 6. Was anybody close to catching you, or were you pretty free going into the end zone? As we're watching the highlight right now, but what was the chase?
It wasn't
like?
It wasn't a pick 6. It wasn't a pick 6, sadly. I got close, but it wasn't fully a pick 6. But the QB got close, and then I had to shove him out of the way, stiff-armed him out of the way. And then Major Stokes, he went and blocked for me. And then one of the receivers, I don't know who, chased me down and sadly got me on the legs in the back.
Well, you got 86 yards on the return, which is awesome. What a play, and we'll hopefully be seeing more of those from you this season for Crimson Cliffs. Let's do week 1 against Lone Peak. Obviously a fun challenge, one of the biggest schools in the state coming down to the Red Kingdom. Give us a little preview from your perspective on playing them, Houston.
I don't know a lot because they've had so many changes.
Yeah.
They have their new recruit from Cali. I know their running back is good. We, in our last game, last year against them, we played against the QB we'll be playing against this year. But yeah, that's all I really know.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to that. Take us through a little bit of your journey at Crimson Cliffs from, freshman year to where you are now, getting time last year as a junior. That's hard to do at a program like Crimson. What was that journey like? Any obstacles you had to go through to get there, and just kind of give us some info on that.
It's been hard playing outside linebacker, just being not as big as I am, or like as a normal linebacker is. Um, so sophomore year I played outside back. Well, freshman and sophomore year I played outside backer, and then last year I switched to safety during seven season, and that was probably just such a big obstacle. That was the biggest, having to switch positions. Um, Learning all the coverages, knowing what to call. Thankfully, last year I had Austin Benson, the senior who graduated, and he really helped me last year. But yeah, now back to outside linebacker this year.
All right. Well, looking forward to it. One of the guys that I know, Coach Wayne and the staff over there is depending on to have another big year. Houston Peterson, everybody. Houston, thank you so much for your time. Good luck this year. Hopefully, we can get you on again after a big win this season for Crimson. Good luck in your senior year, and go Mustangs, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back on the rush right after this. Brought to you by Appliance Wholesalers Plus. Trust the boys that sell GE and Samsung at AWP. They've been supporting Region 9 athletes for over 25 years at AWP. Sponsored by Grass Creek Construction, bringing visions to life for over 20 years. I think Skyline Stansbury is a very underrated matchup, Larry. Talking with Coach Matich at Skyline last week, he said, look out for this game. Not a lot of people are talking about it. Last year it was a 3-point game. Skyline loses their starting quarterback, Xavier Kochi, who transferred to Alta. They bring in Tate Johnson from Mountain View, who is an instant impact leader guy who everybody's rallied around after interviewing them a little bit. They got one of the best running backs in the state, and Jonah Maile will be running for the Utes. In his future, went for over 1,000 yards last season. He's special, and Skyline is excited to wake up the echoes. Coach Maile is still on staff, but Coach Matt is now the head coach and trying to really teach the kids about, you're playing for one of the premier programs in state history at Skyline, waking up the DuPay years. And then over at Stansbury with Brighton Reutzel, who threw for 41 touchdowns last year, had 2 games over 6 touchdowns. He runs it like crazy. He throws it like crazy. He threw it 31 times per game last year. That might even go up this year, and his running production might go up. He's got 2 of his best receivers back. Boston Rowley is back, and Lincoln Reutzel, who can make plays down the field like crazy. So Stansbury, Skyline, 1 possession, 3-point game last year. Stansbury went to the second round in the playoffs, lost to Crimson Cliff. Skyline upset Pineview last year in the first round, and then lost by 2 to Green Canyon, who went on to play for the state championship. So both of these teams have huge hopes heading into 2026, and I think it's going to be a heck of a week 1 matchup that more people should be talking about. Welcome back. It's The Rush. We're thrilled to have our Nets on Fire player of the day on the show. It's Gavin Ortegon, star receiver for Westfield, the leading receiver in the state for yards, returning for 2026. He also had 18 touchdowns. Let's see, Gavin. 1,266 yards, 15 yards per reception, 18 touchdowns. The first thing we're going to do is go back and look at one of your favorite highlights from last year, and I'll play it as you're talking about it. What comes to mind when you think of your funnest play last season?
My funnest play, probably Bonneville. I think it was my second touchdown of the game. It was I ran a post across the middle, and it got tipped by the defense, and I happened to still catch it. And then I made a few guys miss and ended up scoring. It was a pretty long touchdown. It's probably one of my favorite plays for sure.
Okay, excellent. We'll play that as you're talking about it there. Um, what was it like getting into the groove with your quarterback, Easton Eilertson, last year, where you had a stretch of 100-yard games, you had a 4 touchdown game late in the
Mhm.
year. I can't remember, was that against Viewmont or Bonneville or something like that,
It was against
where you had four
Viewmont. It was
touchdowns?
playoff game against Viewmont. Yeah.
Man, so let's talk about that. But before we talk about that specific game, you guys kind of caught fire, it seemed like, a couple games into the year where you were catching, 10 passes and getting over 100 yards in a bunch of those games.
hmm I mean, me and Easton, his freshman year, my sophomore year, we were already pretty close, and we were both playing on the sophomore JV team. So we kind of built a really good connection from there. So the next year, moving to my junior year, his sophomore year, we already had a pretty good connection. We'd go through during the summer and stuff and hang out. So it kind of just translated into the next season, which helped a lot. And just being friends in general off the field too really helps. So I think that's a big part of our connection for sure.
What does that receiving core look like this year after you, Gavin? How many guys are back who are making plays last year? What new guys should we expect to see making plays
Mhm.
this season?
I mean, we got Phoenix Sandoval back and Cole Abbott, number 13, number 5. They were both they helped our team a lot last year. We only lost one guy. It's a tough loss, but we got a few kids coming up, underclassmen. It's nice to have some young kids. We got Drew Comby. He played corner last year. He started for us. He'll be a really big piece this year for us for sure. He's a playmaker. We got a lacrosse player. His name's Cooper Horsepool. He's big frame, big kid. He's for sure gonna help us out. And then we just have some underclassmen that will get in the game and help us for sure. We'll have to see how it goes up and coming season, but
And obviously, you guys are building a program pretty quick up there. I mean, usually
yeah.
a second-year school isn't winning 7 games and playing well in the playoffs. Obviously, your expectations are just get bigger and bigger every year. But what's that been like, building this young program with this group of guys?
Yeah, first year, I mean, it was a pretty rough year, but that's is everybody knew that's how it was going to be first year. Second year, which was last year, it was a big boost. Nobody thought we were going to have a pretty decent season, which we did. So just honestly, just having good culture, and we're pretty close as a team. So having good culture has really been helping us build our program slowly. We're pretty good with the underclassmen and like the up and coming kids that are going to be in high school. So we definitely got a really strong culture coming up. So it definitely helps with the up and coming years ahead.
Okay, let's go back to that Viewmont playoff game. You guys won 41-34. You had 4 touchdowns. What was that
hmm
like to be in the flow state for that whole game? Let's see, 12 catches, 111 yards,
hmm
and 4 touchdowns. What was your mind like going through when you were just in the zone?
I mean, honestly, it just all kind of happened. I was just focused on winning the game because it was a playoff game, win or go home, and me and Easton kind of got fire. So I don't know, man. It just kind of happened. He got me. I ran some good routes, and he got me when I was open. He looked for me, so it kind of just yeah. I got in a flow state and kind of just took off from there. We had to change a few things up for the Viewmont game because we they probably watched a lot of film on us, so we ran a few things different. It still happened to work out, luckily.
Excellent. And then, what's an underrated aspect of being a good receiver, Gavin, that, a lot of people think about hands or speed or whatever. What's something that you think gets overlooked that can make a big difference in being a star receiver at the high school level?
Honestly, a big thing that is underlooked is being able to make plays after you catch the ball, yards after catch for sure. I think that's a big thing. It's one of my favorite things to focus on. So I think that's a really big thing in helping you become better than like higher than other people, help you push yourself a little
Yeah.
more is yards after catch. If you can have yards after catch, then, you know, help the team a lot more than if you just catch it and go down.
Who's your favorite guy to go up against in one-on-ones in practice on this year's squad?
Mm, I probably say Phoenix Sandoval, probably number 5, our other slot receiver. We're both playing defense this year, so we go against each other in practice a lot, and we're pretty competitive together because we're pretty good friends. So it's always fun to go against Phoenix.
What's something that you try against him that he's good at shutting down and you have to adapt to? Like what's his specialty when he's on defense?
Honestly, he kind of just knows how I run my routes. So I have to switch things up sometimes. Like top of my post, I do a rocker step and he knows it's coming most of the time. So sometimes I got to add one more or not rocker step at all because he normally knows it's coming.
Excellent. What's it like, kind of establishing rivalries up there as a new school? Like, give me some context for what it's like in region and kind of what games you guys. I know it's every game, and I know it's week one is the most important game right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, for somebody who's not from up there, what's that kind of dynamic like with teams in your area?
I mean, honestly, every school is pretty close to us. So I'd probably say Roy and Fremont are probably our two biggest rivals just because as a new school, we that's how the kids kind of mix from. So we have kids that were supposed to go to Roy and kids that were
Uh-huh.
supposed to go to Fremont. So everybody is pretty good friends with everybody. I mean, there's people that are they're opposite of friends, but it kind of just made a pretty strong rival because they left their home school and came to our school. So definitely gets the rivalry going for sure.
And I'm assuming you guys are pretty senior heavy this year in that a lot of you guys played as sophomores when the school opened and now you're seniors. So is both sides of the ball a bunch of returning starters this season?
I'd say offense is pretty. The receivers core is pretty have senior heavy for sure. Our line, I think we're probably only going to have two seniors on it this year. Our line's going to be young. I'm excited to see how they do. They're going to do pretty good. But defensively, we have good amount of seniors, but we also have a good amount of underclassmen that are going to play for us.
Okay, excellent. And then what's the run game going to look like this season?
Honestly, I'm really excited for our run game. That's one of my most exciting things. We both of our running backs are coming back, and they both been putting in a lot of work this offseason. Elijah Woods, hardest worker I know, probably. We got Caden Judy coming back too. He was really good. He got hurt for a little bit, but he runs really hard, and that's my guy. So we also have Aiden Lewis. Oh, we also have Aiden Lewis coming. He was out last year because of injury, but he's a pretty big kid and he runs really hard. So we got three strong running backs, hopefully. So our run game, hope it's going to be pretty good this year, I think.
Okay, awesome. You guys open up against Brighton, then at Woods Cross,
Hmm.
then Ogden, and before you start off with Roy in region, and then your other out of region game comes in early October against the late Lancers, buddy. Looking
Yep.
forward to it. Yeah, and you've been fun to kind of research and look at your highlights last year. Where I mean, you had so many huge games. I know you're looking to one up that. But last question, I guess, is after having a incredible season last year, scoring all those touchdowns and stuff. How do you approach this next year, where you're I guess trying not to be complacent and even one up what you did last season?
Yeah, obviously the goal is always to do better than I did last year, but the main focus is winning games. So whatever it takes to win games, whether I have more yards, less yards, whatever I can do to help us win games. But obviously it'd be nice to, get more touchdowns than last year, more yards. But honestly, it's just I just want to win games for our team. So whatever I could do to help win games, that's my number one goal.
What an answer. Actually, here's the last question, buddy. Who's somebody throughout your football journey who's always had your back through the tough times or the obstacles and has always kind of been there for you as you've reached to the point you are now, one of the top receivers in the state?
Honestly, probably my dad. He's my biggest supporter. That's probably someone. There's been a lot of people, but probably my dad is probably the number one.
And did, and did you start playing? How old were you when you started playing padded football?
Frick, I was pretty young, probably I think second grade. I've been playing tackle football since first, maybe first
Oh,
or
dang,
second. Yeah, it's been
dang.
playing for
Okay.
a long time.
That's a long time. Okay. Well, congrats on a great career so far. Good luck in your senior season. We'll be following you, and hopefully we can get you on after a big win this year on the show again.
100%. Thank you, man.
Okay. Thanks, Gavin. Quick
Yep.
break. We'll be back on The Rush right after this. Welcome back. It's The Rush. We're thrilled to have Beckham Meredith in the house, one of the top receivers in the state, back this season for Summit Academy. What's up, Beckham?
Nothing much, dude. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm so excited.
We're thrilled to have you. We're going to go through your top highlight from last year, but before we do, what's been the top highlight of your summer so far?
So obviously Summit Academy, we just barely got an entire new football staff. It's been kind of cool to see all the transfers and all the great coaches that are coming in. We've really built an amazing team, and we're so excited for this new season.
So, Coach Ben Young, tell us a little bit about him and then some of the other guys that he's brought in with this regime change.
Yeah, so Ben, he really had this great vision to make Summit Academy like on the map. He really wanted them to, expand. And so he brought in a bunch of great coaches, Francis Bernard, Zach Moss, and all other great coaches, and a ton of new players. We have about 72 new transfers, and we've kind of built this amazing team. All the Summit kids and all the other kids that have transferred in, we built a great bind together. So
Wow. How many new transfers did you say?
72.
What?
Yeah.
72? Holy
hmm
cow, that is quite the change. So,
Yes.
give me a little bit about, maybe I should know this, but give me a little bit more about Coach Young's background.
So Coach Young originally was from Brighton, and he coached there in Little League, and he also coached for the FBU. Um,
Oh, okay.
that's yeah. So it's a little bit about
Okay,
him.
cool. And then he just had some connections with some of these former NFL guys to come and former Utes and stuff like that to come and coach, or how did he land some of these assistants?
Yeah. So pretty much once he got one of them, they all convinced other people to come, and they all saw a vision of making Summit great. So they're all just building
Wow.
a new empire for Summit Academy.
Man, that's exciting. I
Yes.
had seen some of the stuff about some of the big name coaches that are at Summit now, but I did
hmm
not realize it was that extensive with bringing in new guys and talent stuff like that. So that's awesome.
Yes. Yes, it
Um,
is.
all right, so we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming season, but before we do that, Beckham, let's go back to last year, and I'm going to play
hmm
this clip as you're talking and just kind of diagnose it for us. What was the situation? What was the play call? How it got
hmm
executed? Kind of paint a picture for us, buddy.
Yeah. So it was a South Summit game, and we were down in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, and we were down by about five, and we were running a hitch corner concept, but I was actually to the single side, and I know from film that the corner they were biting on the hitches all their games, and the coach just trusted me to, run a hitch and go, and quarterback threw me a great ball, and we scored and went up and got the lead in the fourth quarter.
66 catches, 1,255 yards last year, and 19 touchdowns. What was your
Yes.
favorite? And it might be the same game, but what was your favorite Friday night last season, Beckham?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'd probably say South Summit. You know, even though we lost in double overtime, I had about four touchdowns that game, 253 yards. Um, all around, our offense was really great that game.
What would you say is an underrated aspect of being a great receiver? Like, the first thing that usually comes to mind is your speed or your route running or hands or stuff like that. Is there
Mhm.
something that you've learned over your time playing football, like, oh, this small thing is actually makes a huge difference?
I would say blocking for sure. I feel like most receivers don't really like blocking, obviously, they like catching the ball, but when you block, obviously, it makes everyone else in your team do better. Here at Summit, we call this thing called one do your 111th. If I do my job, everyone else do theirs. And if I do my job blocking, we can score touchdowns, win games.
Wow. Love it. And I'm sure your coach loves to hear that. Not one of these prima donna receivers that refuses to block and only runs routes. Love to hear it, Beckham.
Hmm.
What type of quarterback? You'll have a new quarterback this year, is my understanding. Rigby Young. What's he like, and what's 7-on-7 season been like? Kind of developing chemistry with him.
It's been great. From day one, me and Rigby, we've gotten really close. We actually went to the Ute shoot. We took fourth, lost to Corner Canyon. I can't remember the score, but we got to the semifinals. Um, he's really mobile, so it gets me open all the time. People think he's running, then he just dumps it over the top to me. But he has a great arm. We've bonded together. He's bonded with the team. He's been a leader. Everything else.
Okay, excellent. Now, let's see. Week 1 this year is home against Logan, and then you're home
Yes.
against Jordan, and then you've got a couple more games. Let's see, Buckeye. I don't know a lot about Buckeye. What's Buckeye?
They're actually a team from Arizona we scheduled.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I don't know
Nice.
much about them either.
Okay, cool. How would you describe, is there a lot of change from the offensive philosophy from last year to this year? Is it similar? What's that like?
There's a lot of change, I'd say, but there's also a lot of similarities. Um, we still throw a lot. We run a lot. Um, just Francis Bernard has brought a great offense to the table, and everyone really understands it. And yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay, cannot wait. Let's see. Of the 72 kids that have come that are new, Beckham, are they just from all over the state of Utah? Are they from other states around the region? Like, kind of what's the breakdown of where some of these kids came from?
So most of them came from Brighton. Um, some of them came from West. Just a bunch of random schools, mostly in Utah for sure.
Okay.
But we have a very young
Okay.
team. We have 5 seniors actually. So
Man, okay, that's awesome. And then I was going to ask you, kind of give me some context for your region. Like, what do you think the region is going to be like this year? I know you have to answer this diplomatically. Everybody's going to be good and competitive and stuff like that. But I'm
yeah.
just curious. I don't know a ton about the history of what that's been like up there, and what you kind of forecast for this season.
Um, One of our big goals for Summit Academy is we want to win region for sure, and we also want to win a state. Um, our region is pretty good. You know, South Summit's they're always great. Not just in our region, but also San Juan. They're always there. We really want to play. We really love playing against San Juan. They're always fun, good competition. But we're hoping to win state this year.
Okay, awesome. So you got San Juan, I think, week 4 at their place, September 4th. So
Yes,
we'll circle that one on the schedule, buddy. How did that
for
game
sure.
go last year for your team, and what was your game like against them individually?
It started off great. You know, offense was moving well. I had 3 touchdowns, 100 and I can't remember how many yards, but it was great. And then we kind of just fell short, but overall, great game.
Okay, beautiful. Well, I can't wait for that one. I'm getting hyped up for Summit Academy football this year, talking to you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Um, and then Oh, I was going to ask you, one of the top receivers coming back in the state after last year. I was going to ask you about it. You always have one or two people throughout your football career help to get you to this point. Who jumps to mind for you? Who's always kind of been in your corner throughout your football career, and how have they helped you?
I'd definitely say my parents first off. They've always just helped me, supported me through every game, every single practice, every training. They've always been there for me. And I'd say every single coach that I've had, even if they're in different sports, um, they've always just been there. My school has helped me so much, and they support me wherever I am.
What's Summit Academy like? What's the school spirit like, and kind of the I don't know, atmosphere of Summit Academy up there?
Yeah, so I'm actually the student body president there at Summit. So I kind of run, kind of get everyone spirited up. Everyone shows up to the games. Every single sport, you know, you get the whole football team going to the basketball games, which is super fun because I play basketball. And just everyone supports everyone there. We all love each other.
Dang. All right. Well, I'm pumped up for you, Beckham. Good luck this year. I know you're going to tear it up, not only in football, but in basketball. I'm excited for the new regime for you guys, and we'll be watching. Hopefully, we can get you on again after a big win this year here on The Rush, buddy.
For sure. Thanks for letting me be on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. We're going to take a break. Beckham Meredith, everybody, star receiver for Summit Academy. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. Send us your highlights, Andy at therushutah.com or anywhere on social media at The Rush Utah. It's The Rush Utah, high school sports every day.